Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Am I audible to all of you?
जी सर.
Okay. May I request Rizwan Bhai to recite Quran, please. Rizwan Bhai, could you please recite Quran? Yes, please.
Am I audible, sir?
You're audible.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. صدق الله العظيم.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khair. And I welcome you all to this meeting. Just give me a minute, please. This is our 58th meeting of this academic year. And as you all know that we are on our way, like we are on the journey towards excellence, right? So in the last week, we were discussing about the various assignments, like we wanted you to appoint an accreditation coordinator for each school, right? And an appointment order to that effect is to be signed by the principal and it is to be recorded. And in case of future inspections by the accreditation team, this will be as follows. So there must be an evidence the school is going to be the accreditation coordinator. A sample was also shared, and many schools have followed that, and they have appointed, and let it be your one record. Right? Then we asked schools to conduct a SWOT analysis, right? That was to fulfill the requirement of, right, understanding the needs and expectations of the interested parties, right? Then that should also, give a review and monitoring on the external and internal issues which are bothering the institutions, right? So this particular exercise for the past 2 weeks we have been doing in our school, right? So yesterday was the second day. So the SWOT analysis, as you all know, that it represents strengths, weaknesses. These two factors are internal to the organization. Then opportunities and threat, which are part of the external part. It doesn't belong to our institution, but it affects, right? So yesterday, all our teachers were, in our audiovisual hall. So we conducted this. So similarly, you'll have to, how many schools have attempted this? May I have a raise of hands? Okay, now I know that this is an field examination period. It will be very difficult for you to spare time for this, but definitely we'll have to go through this exercise. To give you a feel, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses? I'll just read out a few sentences on the points. If you wish, you can note down. These strengths are like the strengths, what we have written, what the teachers have said is the Tarbiyah course which we conduct for mothers weekly thrice. It is about 40 minutes duration, and the attendance is too thin, but it happens, right? It happens, and always we encourage the mothers to. So this is one strength. Then the quality of teaching has improved, and the teachers say that our teaching quality is our strength. Then there is, a cohesiveness among the team. The teachers are saying that the unity is there. Then hardworking attitude. Then we have HIFS classes. Then we have frequent training sessions. We have the relationship with students is better. Then the lunch which is provided by the management every week, weekly once now. So that is, they say that's the strength, right? Then handwriting coaching recently we conducted. STEM lab is one strength. Then we are developing a farm campus, that is a strength. We participate in the science fair, that is a strength. Then school website is always updated, so that is one. Then separate blocks for boys and girls altogether, so that is a strength. Then youth empowerment. See, these are the points which were collected at random. A teacher was there who was noting down all these points, and all the participants were giving their opinions. Then youth empowerment program which our students conduct, that is a strength. We have an FM radio station in our school, that is a strength. Then school uniform, it is appealing as well as Sharia compliant, that is a strength. The management is good, that's what they say. Then good infrastructure we have. Then parent teacher association, it works well here. Then nurturing students' talent. If you identify a student with some talents, you try to nurture it. Then Arabic department is a strength. And then good administration is a strength. School excellence project itself is a strength. And then sports academy we are developing, there is a strength. We have then 4 houses, civil service study circle, then co-curricular activities, book-free days, newsletters. All these points, they are counted as strengths, right? Coming to the weaknesses, like lack of communication. Communication skills, our teachers lack. English language communication skills. Saturday's working day is, they are not happy. Then time management is poor because the teachers arrive late, the students arrive late. So that's one area which needs improvement. Then each class doesn't have a cupboard to say, safeguard all the notebooks. All such things is not there. The library for boys section, it is not there. And lady PET is not available. And primary section, separate prayer hall, they need, so that is to be done. Then septic tank sometimes overflows, that creates trouble. Then they need a pin board in each class, the dining hall for primary section. Like this, they have mentioned so many weaknesses. Why I'm reading out? Because you might get some clues, and sometimes these things go unnoticed. Students leave sometimes as the parents are overseas employed, majority of them. So they take 2-3 months continuous leave, and they are absent for a long period, and they forget everything and come. That impacts the complete education system. He drags the complete class, right? Then printer needed for the primary section. Sometimes the reptiles creep in our campus, right? Sometimes the
Adil sir, are you sharing the screen, sir?
No.
Are you sharing the screen?
No. I'm actually using mobile. If you give me 2 minutes, I can.
Because teachers are requesting for that, I believe.
Yeah, just a minute. Give me just a minute. Assalamu alaikum. I hope my screen is visible. Is it visible?
Ji, sir.
So this is the PDF which my teacher sent now. You can see that the exercise in progress. So these are the points. Finally, it was now converted like this into a document. Can you all see this? Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Sir.
Voice section. Okay. Now the opportunities and threat which are external to the organization. We don't have any control over this. But yes, once there is an opportunity, you need to avail. Once there is a threat, you need to be prepared to face it, right? So in that case, OMIAT gives so many opportunities. Then if you miss the bus, you are going to miss it, right? So we need to go. And like recently, our children visited NIT Trichy. So similarly, we can organize educational trips to nearby institutions of repute. And that's going to encourage them. One interesting story I'll tell you later. Then coaching facility, like for a NEET and IIT JEE, all such coaching facilities or the opportunity which we need to explore. MFERD morning and afternoon sessions are to be explored. SEP is to be taken seriously. Then various workshops are to be conducted as well as attended. Then HAUNA is a then field visit, then science fair, then communication classes, air show, then dealing with the STEM lab. They have, the organization is Propeller Technology, then inter-school competitions. These are the views of our teachers, right? Then threat. There are now multiple new schools are cropping up. There are so many schools, right? They are established in the nearby area. So the parents have some, some unhealthy feelings about the institution that frequently that creeps into the social media about fees collection, about the various arrangements, the new changes which you bring in. So similarly, the communal disturbances which is elsewhere happening in the country is also a cause of concern. There's a threat. Then drug menace, then rainy season now, undue rains and unseasonal rains and cyclones, right? The non-payment of fees, and fees regulations, lack of ethical values and crimes, increase in crimes in general in the society, that is a threat. Then addiction to internet, disturbed family relationships, like for students, we have so many issues here, like majority of the parents are overseas employed, and we have many cases, divorces, separated families. So that is one external threat. Then unskilled overseas employment, because most of them, they go as unskilled employees, they don't earn much and they don't take their families, so they stay back and they have money, but he struggles a lot less. So like this, there are threats, right? Now this is one version of SWOT analysis, right? Now if you take the opinion of the teachers, if you take the opinion of the students, if you take opinion of the parents, like management, if you take this, you'll get n number of points like this, right? Now we need to analyze, right? For example, if you take the strength, yesterday I was asking my teachers, now newsletter, you say that it is the strength of our school. We publish more number of newsletters. Probably so far we have published around 5 to 6 newsletters. So I asked my teachers to make it more effective, right? See, excellence is a journey, right? It is not an end in itself. So newsletter we are publishing. Now, how many of you as teachers have gone through that newsletter? If you ask that question, hardly, those who are into the, editing panel, editors, they are there. The principal, the correspondent reads. How many teachers have read? That is out of question. Then, these newsletters are meant for students. Can anyone proudly say that my entire class has read this newsletter? It's a question mark again, right? Now, third point, how many of you say that this has increased the creativity of the students? See, either somebody has created it, people must have read and utilized it. And here, they have not done that. Now, those who have written it, have they seriously taken it, and whether the creativity of the student has gone up or not? Is there any evidence for that? Or is it a cut, copy, paste from net? Okay. Anyway, some skills they have developed, definitely, organizing skills, then proofreading skills. But is there involvement into that? So this type of, now every point if you take, to make it more effective, there are ways and means. The way I discussed about the newsletter. So if you analyze every point, you will feel that, yes, there is still room for betterment, That is the journey. That is the reason why we do this, a SWOT analysis, right? Now, if you have all these points cannot be addressed all at a time. Now you will have to, sit and arrange them in order of their priorities, right? So once this priority list is made, then you'll have to select 2 to 3 items at a time and start working, and see that you have a proper record and evidence, and see that it is becoming effective. That process becomes effective. So in this way, every month, if you start focusing on these things, then you will find that after 6 months, there's a drastic improvement in the quality of the institution. This is one, right? Now, once you conduct the SWOT analysis, is it the end of it? Nothing. It has to be done at least every 6 months or at least once a year. It has to be done. It is a continuous process because new strengths you must have gained, new weaknesses you must have seen, many good teachers must have left you, right? Some new teachers, very, very good teachers must have joined you. So all such things, it's a very dynamic process. So the team always asks you, at what intervals do you conduct this? At what intervals do you conduct this? And once you have conducted, what is the action that you have taken? And who was the in charge? What was the intervention? What is the result? Right? Try to go through this. By looking at the long list, don't get bogged down. Okay, it's nothing. Slowly we can improve. But all these points, at least they have come to our understanding that so many SWOT things we have, so many SWOT things, and we need to try, right? So this is one process which every school, I request you all to go through and go through this process. So now, for example, this winter holidays are coming. Once all the exams are over, I'm sure in all the schools, the teachers they work for 1 or 2 days more, and before the school commences, you people come 1 or 2 days early. So make use of these days to conduct this SWOT analysis. Definitely, you will feel that yes, it's a very good exercise to show your, the SWOT, right? So this SWOT will open up new vistas for your journey towards excellence. Is it okay? Now coming to the one story I was to tell you. So day before yesterday, one student walked in. He said, "Sir, I want to take your school students for a cycle rally. I want to take them from Kanyakumari to Chennai." I said, "No, you come at the wrong time because this is an examination time. And from January, no parent will spare 10th, 11th, and 12th standard students for any such activity." Then I said, "Sir, I have already promised." So you have promised, Baba, but this is not the right time. And none of the parents below 9th standard, those who are studying 9th standard students, their parents will never permit. So better you try in some colleges. I said, "Sir, I am your former student." He said, "Yes, I know that." "Sir," then he said, "You were the person who recently traveled from Adirampattinam to Ladakh." He did cycling from here. He traveled around 10,000 kilometers by bicycle with one of his friends. And he reached Ladakh and he traveled back. He has got a big experience, a lot of experience. Then I was not knowing that he is our alumnus. I called him and said, "What made you this now? Who gave this idea, man?" And said, "One day you shown me a video in our audiovisual hall." I was surprised. "Which video?" "Sir, you shown me a video where a cyclist was, riding his bicycle from a mountain top." Then I was surprised. See, one video, I don't know when I shown him. So that has motivated that child. He has taken such a big step, and he's traveled. He's hardly 21 years, and he has traveled all along from Adirampattinam to Ladakh, and he has returned. Right? So, teachers, you do not know which activity of yours will motivate students and what will be their future. That is really up to the students' efforts. And our task is to open up the vistas, open up the windows and show them this is how the things are happening. So I was surprised. You won't believe. I was not knowing that. I was knowing the story that 2 students from Adirampattinam have reached Ladakh and they are returning. That much I was knowing. But I was not knowing that he was an alumnus. And that too, he was motivated by a video shown in our IHH hall. And that was quite surprising to me. So it is one good example which you all can quote. And definitely, this is going to be an eye-opener. And you all, we do small things, no? We do small things. Like our, Samir Bhai shows us so many videos, and we expose our students to such videos. And Allah knows better. Tomorrow somebody will become a marine, researcher. So many things will happen, inshallah, right? So that story I wanted to share. Now, coming to the next level. Now, next part is, once we do this SWOT analysis, I once again request to all teachers, to coordinators to conduct the SWOT analysis in this winter vacation. Spend hardly half a day it takes, maximum 2 hours. So now these points are to be prioritized in that order, then start attempting to bring quality in that. So that is one part. Now, standard 1 has got the next requirement. This is identifying the things which are bothering you, right? Internally as well as externally. So this we have understood. Now, we'll have to identify the expectations of the interested parties, stakeholders of your institution, right? Now, what do your parents as a stakeholder expect from you? School? What does your student expects from you, from the school? What is the neighborhood, like general public, which is living in the neighborhood, expect from your school? Like this, we need to float a Google form on any method, any survey method that will define the expectations of the interested parties. So here again, you will have to create an evidence. Now, this is an evidence for my SWOT analysis, right? And this I have conducted in the month of December. So another SWOT analysis I'll have to conduct at least in the month of June, right? This is a continuous process, right? Similarly, I need to understand and I need to record the expectations of the interested parties, right? For that, I need to generate a Google form or a written hard copy survey form, some sort of arrangement, so that I get to know what do they expect from me. Then accordingly, based on that, we need to correct our course of action. So with this, we will be completing standard 1. Is it clear to all of you? Is there any doubt in this? Okay. Right. Thank you very much. Now we'll go to standard 2. Standard 2, governance, leadership, and administration. So here already we had requested you to form a management committee. So the management committee. The management committee, you will have to define the members, right? You can have few members from the trustees, your directors, your principal, your admin manager, your finance manager, students, parent-teacher association. You can think who would add value to our education system, who can contribute towards that. So such people, you will have to take them as a management committee. Now, the problem is once you take them into management, you should define what is their role and responsibilities. Here we fail. We don't, tell them this is your responsibility. So they also, totally get mute and they don't talk. And when things are going good, they say that yes. Something goes wrong, they say that they blame you. So you'll have to define each and every person's management committee's roles and responsibilities. So this will be the third exercise which you're supposed to do, right? So appointing accreditation coordinator, conducting your SWOT analysis, then prioritizing, taking actions, then understanding the need and expectations of the interested parties. Again, the need and expectations of the interested parties that needs to be reviewed at regular intervals. Okay, nothing now is permanent. It is dynamic process, right? Schools are organic organizations, they grow, right? So there is always dynamism, there is change in data, there is change in time, change in climate, change in environment, change in students, change in all such things, the policies. So that is to be done. So third thing, we'll have to form a management committee, and you'll have to define the roles and responsibilities. Don't worry, I know, see, now if I show this particular thing, and you cannot copy this because my strengths and weaknesses cannot be yours. Every school is unique. Every child is unique. Every parent is unique. So your problems will be different than mine. There might be some common, but every school has its own individuals. That's the reason, I don't want to share this. Just I read it. You can take screenshots and don't follow the same things. You can do a practical thing and try to address those issues, right? So coming to, so whenever I make the next move, like understanding already we have done this, understanding the expectations of the interested parties. So once that questionnaire is floated, we have already received and started working on that. And I share one more questionnaire because the year ending is going to be there. So in another 4 months, so we need to circulate one more questionnaire. So we'll be updating that. So based on that, we'll be taking corrective actions as well. Then the management committee, we have a management committee. We have a system wherein every day the core committee meets in the morning for an opening meeting, and there's a closing meeting in the evening. They we review the day's work. So this is what is happening now. So that gives a lot of control on all the processes. So this I would like to share this information. Right. Then now as an accreditation coordinator, somebody is appointed. What are their roles and responsibilities? That also needs to be defined. Now, if you have any doubts, you can definitely take help of our Anjum Sir, who conducted a program, and he is from Sana School. Already they have crossed a milestone. The NABET team has inspected them. They know all these things. But we don't want to do a ditto work what Sana has done. Because as I said, Sana is an organization which has a different, atmosphere, a different place, and different students. So we need to do our own original work. But this is what is about. You can talk to Anjum Sir, we can take any help. We can collaborate and we can discuss among ourselves. But that should be an original work of our own school, right? Now, every school must have an organization structure. Hopefully, you all must have seen the book which we released in our MFERD annual Millet Conference, which was held in Chennai, 17th Millet Conference. So there we had School Excellence Manual. We had released. If you see that, you can get a fair idea of organization structure. Again, this depends. Every school will have its own organization structure. So better you see and make your own organization structure based on the way you people work, right? So the head of the school, right? Head of the school plays a very vital role in getting all these things done. And hopefully the principals are also there in this meeting. So action research is a part and parcel of this whole exercise. For example, I was talking about the newsletter and how effective this newsletter is, and how many students are reading, how many teachers have read, and how useful it is. Is it really working on the creativity of the students? That is a research topic. And once you see the present status and you find that there are flaws in this system, then you try to give some interventions. And again, you're going to release the newsletter to ensure that at least 50% of the teachers, they read that newsletter. And the children discuss this newsletter in the morning assemblies. And that's how we give interventions. See that the newsletter is put to use. And now you find that the newsletter reaches more students and teachers. So now you measure the usage of newsletter is better. So in all these things, you'll find that action research will be a big tool for all of us in improving the educational excellence program, right? So we have Dr. Amina with us, always ready to help us. So each and every point which we see here in the in the SWOT analysis, all these things could be part of your action research projects, and you can bring effectiveness, you can measure, and you can say that, okay, this intervention has worked, this intervention has not given us any result, right? There is a question, what is missed of honesty? Earlier, we used to have honesty shop. Then children used to, use that honesty shop. And at that time, we didn't have a canteen sort of facility. So now there is a canteen contractor. So the children have started using that. So we stopped that honesty shop. But honesty shop was also selling stationaries. Only the product and the prices were mentioned and kept. That was not manned by anybody. And children used to take, and they used to drop money in the money. There was a container kept there. They used to. So that was really going good. Honesty level of the student was also coming up. There were few cases wherein we had losses, but we try to correct it by counseling the student. That's all. So that was not a big loss. Sometimes if the child doesn't have money, he takes, and next day he comes and pays that. So that also happened. So now that is not there, which the teachers feel that was a good initiative. Why it is not? That's it. Okay. So shall we conclude as today's assignments? Once again, I would like to remind you all. So today what we have decided is, okay, one is accreditation coordinator, appointment, right? Appointment letter. Then SWOT analysis. Then sub part of that is prioritize and address them, and at a regular schedule review this, right? So this is one. Then we had plans to understand the expectations of our stakeholders. Okay. Then appoint a management committee and its roles and responsibilities to be defined, right? Then action research. To be utilized as an effective tool to address the identified issues. Yeah. Is it okay? So hopefully we have done justice to the time what we have done. Now, once again, I would like to remind you all teachers, all participants and the coordinators, TSDP is a very effective tool to improve the communication and confidence of your teachers. So at least conduct 2 TSDPs per month. And in this whole academic year, you are supposed to conduct 10 TSDPs, and an evidence for this you need to create. Okay. Then at least 4 newsletters, and you need to publish in this academic year. Then this QMS training, what we are attending, that is part of this. That attendance is mandatory. Then action research, at least complete 2 projects. Then you'll have to share your best practices, at least 2. Then character building, at least 4 themes to be implemented in this year. Then reflection session, so how beneficial this SEP is, and some of the best practices or experiences could be shared here. Youth empowerment, at least you should have presented at least 2 in this academic. So these are the assignments for the whole academic year. And if you do it sincerely, inshallah, our journey towards excellence will get speeded up. Right? Jazakumullah khair. Over to you, Samir bhai. Samir bhai, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. Actually, what we in today's enrichment thing, I have this website to share with everybody. And again, it is a resource. Like last time, we had seen BBC Earth or a lot of good resource on the internet. So here again, I'll share my screen. So what we have here is this is a new website which has just been launched, and it is, the owner is Mr. Mufti Sajid, Dr. Sajid Belim, and he is also the founder and director of Right Way School. So alhamdulillah, he has this channel which you can see for yourself, and it is called Right Way Learnings, and there are a lot of videos in this channel. And alhamdulillah, in this particular channel, although it's Urdu, we have a lot of things which are taken from the book, the number 63, of which he is also the author, which has short stories. So here there are a lot of good stories which all have a moral and a particular theme. So you can, maybe I'll just go through one or two stories. First, the introduction of the channel. So let's have a look at the introduction.
वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। सभी दोस्तों का हमारे नए YouTube चैनल राइट वे लर्निंग्स में स्वागत है। मैं मुफ्ती डॉक्टर साजिद सिद्दीक बेलीम फलाही, इंटरनेशनल स्पीकर, ट्रेनर, फैसिलिटेटर, ऑथर और एक प्रोएक्टिव लर्नर। मैं अपने आप को एक प्रोएक्टिव लर्नर इस वजह से कह रहा हूँ कि मैंने अपने पर्सनल और प्रोफेशनल ग्रोथ के लिए एक अच्छा खासा वक्त, पैसा और सिंसियर एफर्ट्स लगाए हैं, चाहे फिर वो इंटेलेक्चुअल ग्रोथ हो, स्पिरिचुअल ग्रोथ हो, इमोशनल ग्रोथ हो या फिजिकल ग्रोथ हो। इस चैनल के जरिए से हमारी चाहत ये है कि इतनी सब सीखी हुई चीज को बहुत ही कम वक्त में और आसान तरीके से आप हजरात तक पहुंचाया जाए, और इसके लिए वीडियोस, प्रेजेंटेशंस, बुक्स और ट्रैवलिंग एक्सपीरियंसेस को आपके साथ शेयर किया जाए। इस पूरे काम का मकसद ये है कि हम और आप एक साथ मिलकर ग्रो हो और इस ग्रोथ से दुनिया का और इंसानियत का ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा फायदा हो। आखिर में सिर्फ ये कहना चाहूँगा कि इट्स ऑल अबाउट ब्रिंगिंग लर्निंग्स टू लाइफ। थैंक यू वेरी मच। जज़ाकल्लाहु अहसनल जज़ा।
So you see, this is the reason, and you can also share and subscribe to this particular channel. So we'll play one video, which could be anything which you could take. Like right now, they've reached 15 stories. So any of these stories, enjoy the life, hot chocolate, or the itemized bill. What is the Cobra effect? So these are all stories. So this is the Cobra effect.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। दोस्तों, आज हम एक बहुत ही दिलचस्प टॉपिक के साथ आपके सामने हाजिर हुए हैं। आज की हमारी स्टोरी का टाइटल है द कोबरा इफेक्ट और थीम ऑफ द स्टोरी है रिवर्स्ड आउटकम। कोबरा इफेक्ट इकोनॉमिक का एक बहुत ही मशहूर टर्म है, जिसका मतलब ये होता है कि कभी कभी किसी प्रॉब्लम का अटेम्प्टेड सॉल्यूशन प्रॉब्लम को और ज्यादा वर्स और संगीन बना देता है। ये नाम रखने की वजह ये पेश आई कि दिल्ली में किसी जमाने में कोबरा सांपों की तादाद बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गई। सांप लोगों को डसने लगे और बहुत ज्यादा मौत वाक़ई होने लगी। लोगों ने घरों से निकलना बंद कर दिया। हुकूमत ने इस मामले में मुदाखलत करते हुए ये ऐलान किया कि जो आदमी एक मरा हुआ सांप पकड़ कर लाएगा उसको एक चांदी का सिक्का दिया जाएगा। शुरू में ये सॉल्यूशन बहुत ही मुफीद साबित हुआ, सांपों की तादाद में कंट्रोल होने लगा। लेकिन कुछ लोगों ने इस मौके का फायदा उठाते हुए घरों में सांपों की अफजाइश यानी ब्रीडिंग चालू कर दी। जब हुकूमत को पता चला कि लोग घरों में सांपों को पाल रहे हैं ताकि वो इनाम हासिल कर सके, तो हुकूमत ने इनाम देने का सिलसिला खत्म कर दिया। अब जिन लोगों ने सांपों को घरों में पाला था वो मरते क्या ना करते, उन्होंने सांपों को आजाद छोड़ दिया। जी हाँ दोस्तों, इसी को कहते हैं रिवर्स्ड आउटकम, कि कभी कभी किसी मसले का हल जो होता है वो मसले को सुलझाने के बजाय और ज्यादा उलझा देता है। इसीलिए जब भी किसी डिसीजन मेकर को कोई अहम डिसीजन लेना हो तो उसको मामला जो है उसके तमाम पॉसिबल आउटकम्स को सामने रखते हुए तय करना चाहिए, ताकि अच्छा और मुफीद डिसीजन सामने आ सके। दोस्तों, इस स्टोरी के 3 मॉरल्स और वर्ड्स ऑफ विजडम ये हैं। नंबर 1, नेवर इम्प्लीमेंट एनी आइडिया under the awe of the brilliance of a never tested solution. Number 2, always keep in mind every human action has 2 sides. One intended consequences and other अनइंटेंडेड कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस। नंबर 3, कभी कभी किसी मामले में नेक नियति से किया हुआ काम उस मामले को ऐसे गैर इरादी नतीजों तक पहुंचा देता है कि मामला संगीन नहीं बल्कि बदतरीन हो जाता है। दोस्तों, इस टॉपिक पर यानी रिवर्स्ड आउटकम के टॉपिक पर 3 अच्छी बुक्स के नाम, उनके ऑथर्स के नाम और पब्लिशिंग डेट ये है। जज़ाकल्लाहु अहसनल जज़ा। अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।
So Alhamdulillah, in all these stories, they have 3 morals and 3 books which are always shared at the end. So that's all for today, inshallah. Over to Azim bhai.
Jazakumullah khairan jaza. Is there any point which you would like to discuss? Any school would like to share some experiences or feedback? Right. If nothing of that sort, inshallah, we'll wind up this meeting and we'll work on those assignments which already I have shared you. Jazakumullah khair. Subhanallah bihamdihi subhanakallah bihamdihi. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun.